Good evening, basketball fans, and welcome to the Red Zone here at Hicksville High School as we're getting ready for Girls Green Meadows Conference basketball action on this Friday night. The Tinora Rams have made the trip over from Central Defiance County to take on the Lady Aces of Hicksville here this evening, and we're going to be bringing you both the junior varsity and the varsity matchups here on Hicksville Community Television this evening. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Brian Williams alongside operating the camera this evening. Chris Warner had something come up and was not able to be with us this evening. So Brian will be handling the camera, and I'll take care of the announcing chores. Brian was capturing some of the dance moves from the varsity Lady Aces as we began the broadcast. They're in good spirits this evening. It's Friday. The weekend is upon us, and we're going to have our fingers crossed that the inclement weather that is predicted for Northwest Ohio is going to hold off until we get these two games in here tonight. JV game up first, and let's take a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Tinora Rams. The JV coach is Kent Tichy, and their starting five will be as follows. Number 12 is Sierra Brown. Sierra, a 5'7 freshman. Number 23 is Emma Lieb. Lieb is a 5'4 sophomore. Number 24, Paige Carpenter, a 5'7 freshman. Number 42 is 5'10 junior Madeline Zachrich. And number 44 will be 5'6 freshman McKenna Helmke. Over on the Lady Aces side, a familiar sounding group getting the start tonight. Number 3, Leah Seitz. Number 4 is McKeegan Bailey. They're both freshmen. Number 5 is sophomore Sydney Bland. Number 24, freshman Raina Mazur. And number 30 is freshman Alyssa Seitz. So we're going to get ready to jump center circle here. Up, and the tip from Bailey is, well, a whistle. And so just like that, it'll be Rams ball out of bounds midcourt. Here we go. So the ball is inbounded, and again, we are underway down into the corner. The Rams pull the trigger from up top. That was Emma Lieb taking the shot, and the ball goes out of bounds. Going to stay with the Lady Rams. Glad to have you here with us. Again, a big thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships underwriting our coverage. I'm looking forward to a good girls basketball game here tonight. Pretty clear height advantage, at least initially, for the Lady Rams. Shot is up and no good from Brown. Another long one, and that one is going to rattle home, and that was Paige Carpenter getting the three. So Carpenter opens up the scoring. It's 3-0 Lady Rams. Mazur with the ball. She'll toss it over to Bailey. Bailey down into the corner to Bland. Feeds it inside to Alyssa Seitz. Alyssa looking to get out of trouble. She's trapped in a double team, and it'll be a jump ball, and that should go to Hicksville. Oh, we're going to be the Rams ball. Okay. Yep, you're right. We had it out. Yep, okay. I got it. Lieb will bring the ball up the floor for the Rams. She'll toss it across court to Helmke. Back to Lieb. And another long one off the glass. No good, and this will be Leah Seitz with the rebound, tosses it to Bland. Bland pulls up, and she gets blocked from behind by Helmke. Helmke will toss it over to Lieb, and we'll come back the other way with the Rams. Long pass down, and, well, the ball loose, but it is controlled by Tinora. Long shot again from three-point land is no good, but the Rams grab the rebound, and they'll reset out on the perimeter again. And another one from the corner. That one Karamzai, and it comes down into the hands of Bailey. Bailey tosses it over to Leah Seitz. Seitz to Bland, down into the corner to Mazur. Mazur tries to get a shot off, but the ball stripped away from her, loose on the floor, picked up by the Rams. Kick it back out. Lieb out to Brown, and shot up, no good. And Alyssa Seitz grabs the rebound for the Lady Aces. She'll toss it over to Leah Seitz, and Leah will bring it across the timeline. 3:45 left to go in our opening quarter. Bland with the ball now on the wing. Bland, and the ball stripped away from Bailey on the pass. Nice stop as Bailey rockets right by, and an easy two-pointer for Brown for the Rams. And timeout on the floor as Coach Miser, Ryan Miser, has seen enough for right now, and they're going to take a quick 30-second break to try to make some initial adjustments. Again, the Rams have a bit of a height advantage over the Aces gals, and they've been using it to their advantage and also taking some pretty good-looking shots from out there in three-point land. Only had one rattle home, but they get hot from out that distance, and so far managed to hold the Lady Aces scoreless. So they'll break huddle. It'll be Aces ball on the baseline. Inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz across the timeline. Seitz working in towards the inside, feeds it up to Alyssa Seitz, who puts it up and in. So first bucket of the night for the Lady Aces. 3-point game now, 5-2, but the Rams back in action on offense. Carpenter kicks the ball back out, loose on the floor, but they scoop it up, get it to Lieb. Lieb over to Schaffner into the game now, number 22, Dakota Schaffner. She is in for Helmke. And this is Zach Rich. Zach Rich tosses the ball over, shot put up, and that is good from Emma Lieb. And that'll be 3 for her. So 8-2 now for a couple of 3-point field goals from the Rams. Bland out to Tori Perna into the game for the Lady Aces. Also out there now, number 2, Jade Sigmund. And Carpenter will come out, and Helmke will be back in for the Rams. Lieb down into the corner. That's Brown. She tosses it over Schaffner, and then they're going to just reset it again. Now Brown drives in. Long feed across court. Shot is up and good. And that's another 3 for Lieb, with 6 points now to her credit. And that increases the Rams' lead 11-2. Seitz to Perna. Down to Alyssa Seitz. Alyssa takes it up to the top of the key, tosses it to Leah. Leah Seitz, and she gets it to Bailey. And Bailey's pass is stolen away by the Rams. Coast to coast, shot up, no good. Rebound comes down to Alyssa Seitz, but she's going to be tied up. We're going to have a bit of a tussle between her and Schaffner. Schaffner hits the deck. Jump ball, and it goes to the Aces. Into the game for the Rams, number 15, Clara Westrick, as Lieb will have a seat to catch her breath. Minute 20 left in our opening quarter. Mazur getting ready to check back in for the Lady Aces. Leah Seitz being dogged by Brown. Gets it into Alyssa Seitz. Alyssa, bunch of people hit the floor. And that's going to be the first foul of the evening, and that's going to be on Sierra Brown, her first personal. Team foul number 1 for Tinora. And Mazur will come in, and Alyssa Seitz will step out for the Aces. Bounce pass in to Leah Seitz, who tosses it over to Bailey. Bailey to Mazur, up, no good. Rebound comes down to the Rams. They get it out of there. They'll launch it down the floor. Saved before going out of bounds. And then they'll reset their offense. Brown working Tosses it back to Zachrich. Zachrich puts up the shot, no good. And the ball controlled by the Rams. They try to get it in. It bounces off of Leah Seitz's hip, but back into the hands of a Ram player. That shot up, no good, and that's going to be a whistle and a foul, and I think that's going to be 2 shots. And McKeegan Bailey, I think, is going to get her first personal. Yep. Bailey picks up the foul. That'll be her first. Team foul number 1. And that's going to put Helmke at the line, shooting 2. First one's no good. Back into the game, numbers 23 and 24, Carpenter and Lieb for the Rams, as Zachrich will step out. Second shot is good from Helmke. Makes it 12-2, Rams. 22 seconds. Aces are going to see if they can work something out here for a final shot before the quarter ends. Sigmund charges in and gets the ball blocked. 12 seconds, and we come back the other way with the Rams. Lieb tosses it over to Schaffner. Schaffner kicks it out, and that's a long one from Helmke. No good. Time expires, and that's the end of the first quarter. Fast-moving quarter, and it has been all Rams for the first 6 minutes as the Lady Rams JV squad leads the Lady Aces 12-2 at the end of 1. Got some time here between quarters, and that's when we always say a big thank you to our basketball broadcast underwriters, the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Remember, if you are in the market for a vehicle, whether you want one that is brand spanking new or pre-owned, be it a car, truck, van, or SUV, you owe it to yourself to stop by. Check out the great selection they have on the lots at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships right here in Hicksville, Ohio. Or if that doesn't work out for you, for whatever reason, it's not a problem, because you can also check out the complete dealer inventory online anytime at jimschmidtauto.com. Remember, it is always about service at the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships before, during, and after the sale. They'd love to see you and hope that you will stop by. And if you do, let them know how much you appreciate being able to watch Aces basketball action on HIX-TV. They're the ones that make it possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, and online at jimschmidtauto.com. Back into action as we get the second quarter underway. Lieb puts up the runner, and it's good. Emma Lieb with a 2-pointer to give herself 8 points in the game so far. Leah Seitz. Ball's blocked, taken away. They'll toss it over to Schaffner. Schaffner to Brown, back to Lieb. Lieb another 3, off the glass, no good. And this time it's Bailey that grabs it for the Lady Aces. She'll flip it over to Leah Seitz. And the Lady Aces will try to get something going offensively. Again, another deflection as they try to feed the ball in to Sigmund. It comes up into the hands of Bailey. She tries to get it down low to Bland, but it's taken away again. And now Brown goes coast to coast. She'll pull up, get it back to Lieb. Lieb to Schaffner. And Schaffner will take it to the hoop, put it up, no good, but she'll kick it back out, grabbing their own rebound. 3-pointer from Lieb is no good, and we're going to have a whistle underneath the basket. And that'll be number 24, Paige Carpenter, getting the foul. That'll be her first, and team foul number 2 for the Rams. Alyssa Seitz comes into the game, as Leah Seitz will sit down, and Bailey will bring up the ball for the Lady Aces. Bailey to Bland. Bland's going to try to take it in, backs it back out, gets it back to Sigmund. Sigmund to Bland. Bland over to Bailey. The Aces try to set up their offense here. Sigmund now with a bounce pass, and it's taken away. Here comes Lieb. Lays it up and in. 10 points now for Emma Lieb. And the Rams 16-2 ahead of the Aces here. Sigmund. It goes knocked out of bounds. by Helmke. He'll stay with the Lady Aces. Perna will come back into the game, and Sigmund will step out for Hicksville. Bailey, bounce pass into Perna. And right back to Bailey. Bailey to Masser. Masser pushes it out to Bailey again, and she'll put up a runner, no good. Rebound comes down to Helmke for the Rams. She'll toss it over to Lieb. Lieb with a long pass down the floor, up and in for Paige Carpenter. Carpenter with the bucket and another timeout on the floor. 3:44 to go in our first half, and the Aces call their second timeout of the game. This will be a full 1 minute timeout as things are rapidly getting away from Hicksville and not in a good way. They trail by 16 as they have just not been able to generate much in the way of offense against the Rams. Again, the height advantage working against the Aces a little bit, and we're having problems passing the ball on the offensive end without getting it taken away. And the Lady Rams, let's give credit where credit is due. They've ran their offense very well, and they've hit their shots from both long range and up close. And they're making it burn for the Aces here early on in this junior varsity game. Right now, actually a fairly well-played game. Tinora has committed 2 team fouls, and the Aces have committed only 1. And as the final seconds tick off, we'll get ready to break huddle here. The Rams already back out on the floor. And here come the Aces. Perna Mazur, Alyssa Seitz, Leah Seitz, and Sydney Bland. The 5 Lady Aces on the floor right now. 3:40 to go. And the clock running. Leah Seitz to Bland. Bland tries to get it down low to Alyssa Seitz, and it's stolen away. That's Carpenter that intercepts the pass, gets it to Lieb. Lieb back to Brown. Brown spin move, puts up the hook shot, no good. And we're going to have another whistle underneath the hoop. And that's going to be on the Rams, and that'll be on Zachrich, getting her first personal foul and team foul number 3 on Tinora. Now Lieb and Helmke will come out of the game. Back in number 15, Westrick. Schaffner back out there as well. Perna from three-point land, off the back of the iron, no good. Rebound battled for between, and that's going to be another foul on Sierra Brown. That's 2 now on her, and team foul number 4. As she is whistled for pushing off Leah Seitz, going for that rebound. Quick shot up by Leah Seitz is no good, and the ball goes out of bounds in the corner. It'll be Rams ball. Carpenter looking to inbounds it to Brown. She does. Brown will bring the ball up. Across the timeline with 2:50. Brown bounce pass to Schaffner, who kicks it back out. Long shot by Zachrich is no good, and another whistle underneath the hoop. And another push off on the Rams, and that'll be Clara Westrick, number 15, picking up that personal foul, her first, and team foul number 5 for the Lady Rams. Leah Seitz brings the ball up. Emma Lieb ready to check back in for Tinora. Sigmund gets the ball, tosses it to Bland, right back to Sigmund. Jade bounce pass to Bland down in the corner. Bland, ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Aces underneath the bucket on the baseline. Sierra Brown will come out with those 2 personal fouls. She'll sit for a bit. Bland looking to handle the inbounds. Gets it in to Leah Seitz, who tries to get it right back to Bland, and no doing. And now the ball loose on the floor. She tried to push the ball right back to Bland, and one of the Rams got a hand on it, knocked the ball to the court. So the jump ball goes to the Lady Aces. Bland gets it into Perna. Perna to Bland. Out on top to Sigmund. Sigmund over to Leah Seitz. And then back to Bland and back to Perna. Seitz going to drive in. Her shot is going to be short, and it'll come down right into the hands of Zachrich. Zachrich tossed the ball over to Lieb. Lieb flips it out at the last minute to Schaffner, who puts up the shot, no good. And Sigmund grabs the rebound, gets it to Leah Seitz. Seitz being dogged a little bit by Schaffner, gets the ball down the floor, gets it to Bland. Bland throws it to Alyssa Seitz, who wasn't ready for it. It goes out of bounds and back to the Rams with 1:35 to go in the half. Lieb gets the inbounds, brings it up, across the timeline with 1:30 exactly left in the first half of this JV game. Ball is loose as they miss the handoff down in the corner. And the possession arrow gives the ball to the Rams. So Lieb will get ready to inbounds. Lieb gets it into Westrick. Westrick back, and it's back into Lieb's hands now. Long shot, no good from Zachrich. Or excuse me, that was Schaffner. And they're still battling for the rebound. Now Zachrich has it, gets it back to Schaffner. Schaffner drives the baseline, puts it up and in. Dakota Schaffner, her first bucket of the night, and that makes it 20-2 Rams. Under a minute now. Leah Seitz gets it to Bland off her hands, but Alyssa Seitz gets the loose ball, but then it's taken away, and here comes Helmke. Helmke up off the glass, no good. Saved on the baseline, loose on the floor. Sigmund gets it for the Lady Aces. Jade will hold up a little bit and then bounce pass it over to Leah Seitz, who takes it across the timeline as we go under 30 seconds. Tries to get it into Alyssa Seitz. Nothing there, so she'll get it back to Leah Seitz, and we'll have a jump ball between Alyssa and Schaffner, and that'll be Aces' ball with 23.9 seconds. Bland gets it in to Bailey. Bailey shot up off the iron, no good. Rebound comes down into Zachrich's hand. She tosses it over to Lieb. Lieb to Schaffner. Schaffner drives baseline, puts it up, no good. She's going to be fouled. Schaffner will go to the line to shoot two with 9.2 seconds. And that's going to be the first personal on Jade Sigmund. Only team foul number 2 on the Lady Aces, and with 9.2 seconds, neither team need to worry about going into the bonus in the first half. Schaffner's first shot, no good. She'll get one more. And the second one, no good. Bland grabs the rebound with 7. Over to Leah Seitz, who throws it down the floor, and it's taken away by Schaffner. Schaffner is going to put it up at the buzzer, no good. So that's the end of the first half, and it was all Tinora Rams, no doubt about it, as they're really taking it to the Lady Aces here. Halftime of the JV game, it's Tinora leading Hicksville 20-2. Our halftime score. We're going to step aside, but we invite you to stay tuned. Brian and I will be back, and we'll have all of the second half play-by-play coming your way right here on HIX-TV. Welcome back to the Red Zone. We are at halftime. About a minute and a half left before we get the third quarter underway. I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television. Brian Williams here running the camera. And if you're just joining us at halftime of this junior varsity girls game, it has been the Tinora Rams first, last, and everything in between. They are ahead of the Aces 20-2. at halftime. A disastrous first half for the Lady Aces. Taking a look at the unofficial scoring, the only points the Aces put on the board was a bucket by Alyssa Seitz. That's the lone 2 points on the scoreboard for Hicksville. Over on the other side, the Rams taking advantage of their height differential in their favor. And they've gone to town. Already 10 points for Emma Lieb on 2 threes and 2 twos. 5 points for Paige Carpenter on a 3 and a deuce. Bucket and 2 for Sierra Brown and Dakota Schaffner, and a free throw for 1 point from McKenna Helmke. So there you have it, 20-2. 12 minutes of basketball left to play in this junior varsity game. We'll see what kind of adjustments the Aces have made in the locker room. They've been having all kinds of problems moving the ball on offense. They've tried to pass it, and the passes have been taken away by the Rams. They've been out-rebounded, so we'll see how things go. Rams with the ball to start the half, and we are underway. Helmke gets it to Schaffner. Schaffner bounce pass inside, looking for Carpenter, and that's going to be a jump ball. And it'll be Aces, as that was between, I think it was between Mazur and Schaffner battling for the ball. No, I take that back. It was Carpenter for the Rams. Bounce pass to Bland. Bland trips. And the ball is stolen away, but still loose on the floor. Finally scooped up by Lieb. Lieb tosses it to Brown. Brown drives in. Bounce pass underneath. Shot up. No good. And the Aces come up with the rebound. Bland will bring it up across the timeline for Hicksville. Over to Leah Seitz. Seitz drives to the bucket, feeds it down to Alyssa Seitz, who puts it up and in. So Alyssa Seitz with the hoop makes it 20-4. Lieb to Helmke. Helmke back to Lieb, and then she tosses it to Carpenter. To Helmke for 3, and that's good. Ouch. That's the third Ram to hit a 3-pointer in the junior varsity game. Leah Seitz across the timeline. Bounce pass to Bland. Bland working around on the wing. Inside to Mazur. Mazur looking for some help. She'll take it out beyond the 3-point arc, then starts driving into the paint again. And flips it out to Bland. Bland drives in. She'll put up a shot. It's going to be good, and she's going to go to the line. Sydney Bland with the bucket. That'll be on number 22, Dakota Schaffner, her first, team foul number 1 in the second half. And that'll put Sydney Bland at the line to complete the 3-point play, hopefully. And she doesn't, but the ball comes down, and we're going to have another jump ball. And that'll be the Rams on the possession arrow. Lieb gets the inbounds, and she'll quickly bring it down the floor. She tosses it a long way to Brown, who puts it up from 3-point land. No good. And Perna grabs the board over to Bland. Bland across the timeline, being guarded by Helmke. And then she gets the ball pushed out of her hands from behind by Schaffner. Helmke scoops it up, and it's back in the Rams' hand. Brown and now Carpenter. Over to Lieb. Lieb drives in, kicks it back out. Long one from Carpenter, and that one's good. Paige Carpenter with her second 3 of the night. And that makes it 26-6. And another timeout on the floor. This will be the Rams' first timeout of the night. And they're gonna take a full 1-minute timeout, so JV coach Kent Teegee must have seen something that he wanted to address right away, as the scoring so far here in this third quarter has been a little more balanced. The Rams have scored 6 and the Aces have scored 4. So not nearly as lopsided as those first 2 quarters were. 3:45 to go in the third, and it'll be Aces ball out of bounds on the baseline. Bland getting ready to inbounds to Leah Seitz. She does. And here we go. Seitz being guarded by Brown. Gets the ball over to Bailey. Bailey puts up a shot, no good. And we'll come back the other way with Lieb. Lieb long pass down the floor to Schaffner, and she traveled. She knew it. She started smiling as soon as she heard the whistle. She knew that she'd taken one step too many there. Again, Bland inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz take her time moving up the court. Brown comes out to Garter, over to Bailey. Bailey to Bland, back to Leah Seitz. Seitz kicks down in the corner. McKeegan Bailey looking around, gets it to Mazur. Mazur back to Leah Seitz. Aces trying to be a little patient here. Bounce pass to Alyssa Seitz. Alyssa's going to drive the baseline and into some trouble, kicks it back out. Ball is loose and it's scooped up by Westrick. Westrick tosses it to Carpenter, who gets it back to Lieb, and Lieb quickly to the three-point arc. Now back to Westrick. Westrick's going to drive to the bucket, put it up, no good off the glass. Put back by Helmke is no good. And we're going to have another jump ball underneath the bucket. And that'll be Ace's ball. Sigmund will come into the game for Hicksville. Mazur will have a seat. Also coming out for the Rams is Helmke, and she's going to be replaced by Schaffner back into the game. Leah Seitz with 2:24 left in the third quarter. Over to Sigmund. Sigmund to Seitz. Bounce pass over to Bailey. Bailey will launch one off the glass. No good. It'll be out of bounds. I think that's going to stay with the Aces. It looked like it went off of Brown's hands. Out of bounds. Bland, get ready to get the ball back in bounds. Tosses it over to Leah Seitz. Seitz to Bailey. Bailey, ball knocked out of her hands, and Westrick comes up with it, but it's taken away by Westrick, and Leah Seitz gets it back, gets it to Alyssa Seitz. Alyssa, bounce pass, and the ball is loose on the floor again, being kicked around, and Jade Sigmund going to get on it and toss it back to Bailey. Bailey to Leah Seitz. Bounce pass behind Alyssa Seitz and out of bounds. It'll be Rams ball. Minute 37 to go in the third. Emma Lieb across the timeline. Gets it to Carpenter. Carpenter to Westrick. Westrick bounces it back to Carpenter. They'll move in, and now Schaffner. Schaffner to Lieb. Lieb into the paint, puts it up. Shot's no good, but she'll be fouled, and Emma Lieb will be going to the line to shoot two, and that'll be McKeegan Bailey's second personal, and team foul number one for the Aces in the second half. Two shots for Emma Lieb. First one rattles home. She'll get one more. Helmke back into the game as Carpenter will have a seat. Lieb's second shot is also good. 12 points now for Emma Lieb. And it's 28-6, Rams. Seitz's pass is knocked loose by Brown. Brown will go to the hoop, toss it up, doesn't get the roll, but she will go to the line and shoot two. And Jade Sigmund, I believe, is going to pick up her second personal foul. Nope, that's going to be actually on number 3. That'll be Leah Seitz getting the first personal. And that will be Brown hitting the free throw, and she'll get one more. Brown rattles them both home and makes it 30-6. With a minute exactly left in the third quarter. McKeegan Bailey getting ready to inbounds for the Lady Aces. She gets it into Leah Seitz. Under a minute. Seitz will cross the timeline with 55 seconds left in the quarter. Seitz, bounce pass. Shot from Perna, no good. Ball bouncing around loose, and it's going to be wrapped up, and it'll be another jump ball. And that'll be Rams ball with 43.4 seconds left in the quarter. Lee will bring the ball up. Rams will move it around. Westrick with it right now. Westrick down into the corner to Schaffner. Schaffner drives baseline, puts it up off the iron, no good. Bounce pass is loose, and Carpenter grabs it, gets it over to Lieb. Her shot is no good, and Mazur with the rebound. Clears it out of there, gets it to Seitz. Leah takes it down across the timeline, dives into the paint, kicks it back out. Shot up by Bailey is no good, and Schaffner grabs the rebound. And it's taken away by Seitz, but not before the horn sounds, and that's the end of the third quarter. So a little better offensive performance from the Aces in quarter number 3, but they still are way behind and have a lot of ground to make up in the fourth quarter. It's 30-6 after 3 here in the junior varsity game. Rams. Want to take another minute here to say another thank you to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio, our basketball broadcast underwriters for the entirety of the 2019-20 basketball season. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick and Jim Schmidt Ford and the Jim Schmidt Truck Lot and JimSchmidtAuto.com lending us their support and making it possible for us to bring you both boys and girls basketball from the junior high all the way through to the varsity level. And once the regular season wraps up, we'll be following the varsity boys and girls on the tournament trail as far as they go. Again, thanks to the generous underwriting support of Jim Schmidt and his auto dealerships. We want to thank them so very much, and we hope you will do the same. Remember, anytime you see Aces basketball action on Hicksville Community Television, they're the ones that make it possible. The Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships in Hicksville, Ohio. Jim Schmidt Chevrolet Buick, Jim Schmidt Ford, and online at JimSchmidtAuto.com. 6 minutes on the clock. And the Aces will have the ball to start the fourth quarter. Inbounds to McKeegan Bailey. Bailey working around the perimeter. Off of her foot, but she gets the ball back. Tosses it over to Jade Sigmund. Sigmund works in and kicks it back out to Bailey. Bailey from just inside the three-point arc. Shot is a little bit long off the back of the iron. No good. But she'll get the ball back and reset. Long pass to Mazur off of her hands and out of bounds. It'll be Rams ball with 5:37 to go in the fourth quarter. Sierra Brown across the timeline for Tinora, down into the corner. That's to Zachrich. Zachrich spin off the glass and good. Maddie Zachrich with her first bucket of the night. Bailey brings it back up for the Lady Aces. She'll take a shot from just inside the three-point arc. No good. And out of bounds. It should stay with Hicksville. Bland gets the ball in to Perna. Perna back to Bland and loses the dribble, but Perna is right there to pick it back up. Perna with the basketball to Jade Sigmund. Sigmund works her way around, gets it off to Bland. Bland launches along two, no good. Rebound comes down to Zachrich, and Jade Sigmund goes for the ball too. They tie it up. They both hit the deck, and the possession arrow will give the ball to the Rams. 4:48 to go in this JV game. Brown takes it across. Gets it down to Zachrich, who kicks it back out to Carpenter. Carpenter puts it up. Ooh, and it's no good. And we're going to have another whistle. And we'll see. I think that's going to be the second personal on Jade Sigmund. And 2 shots for Paige Carpenter. Carpenter's first one in and out, no good. Westrick checking back in for the Rams. She will spell Schaffner, and Leah Seitz will come in for Jade Sigmund for the Aces. Carpenter has her second shot. That one's no good. Helmke grabs the rebound, and she'll get it to Carpenter. Down low to Zachrich, up off glass, no good. And out of bounds off of Zachrich. Aces ball with 4:28 to go in the game. 32-6. All Tinora here tonight in the junior varsity game. Leah Seitz works her way into the paint, dishes it off. Bland has the ball slapped out of bounds by Westrick, and Aces will have to reset. Bland will inbounds from the baseline. Bland tries to get it in. Helmke taps it out of bounds again. So the Aces will try the inbounds play one more time here. Bland gets it into Leah Seitz. Seitz to Mazur. Mazur to Bailey, puts it up, no good. Rebound grabbed by Carpenter. Or excuse me, that was Zachrich. She tosses it over to Westrick. And now Brown with a long shot. Karam's off, and she gets her own rebound. Brown drives to the hoop, lays it up, no good. Zachrich with the board. She'll flip it over to Carpenter, will put it up a little bit short, no good. And Westrick finally gets the hoop. Clara Westrick, and that's her first 2 points of the night. Seitz working out on the top of the key into Perna. Perna looking for some help. Kicks it back out. Gets it to Bailey. Bailey down in the corner, facing off against Helmke. Almost loses the ball, but Leah Seitz charges in and gets the basketball back for the Aces. Seitz now against Helmke. Down. Bailey's shot is off the side of the backboard, no good, and we're going to have another jump ball, a tie-up between Carpenter and Mazur. And the possession arrow should keep it with the Aces. Alyssa Seitz and Jade Sigmund will check back in for Mazur and Perna for the Aces. Westrick will come out for the Lady Rams. And it'll be Schaffner back in for Tinora. Leah Seitz from the wing hits it. Leah Seitz gets her first bucket of the night to make it 34-8. Schaffner, and that's going to be Sigmund getting her third personal foul. And we're going to have another timeout on the floor. 2:45 left to go in the junior varsity game. And again, it's all Rams, 34-8. Aces taking another timeout. They'll have 2 remaining for the balance of the game. The Rams have only needed to take 1 timeout. They have 4. The Aces right now, 4 team fouls in the second half. The Rams have committed only 1. And a quick 30-second timeout here as it's getting to be gut check time for the Lady Aces in this game. And you want to make sure that when you're getting a thumping like this, sometimes players' emotions can get the better of them. So it's a good thing every now and then that the coach gathers them together and just helps them keep a cool head. Rams get the ball inbounds to Zachrich off the iron, no good. It's slapped out of bounds. That should be the Aces ball. With 2:41 left to go in the junior varsity game, Bland will get it inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz brings the ball up across the timeline. 2:34 left in the game. Bailey puts up a shot that's partially blocked. It's grabbed by Schaffner. Schaffner flips it over to Brown. Brown down low to Helmke, who stepped on the baseline before she slapped the ball back inbounds. Turnover on the Rams. So here come the Aces. Leah Seitz again bringing up the ball. Seitz, burst of speed. Dribbles it off of her knee. Ball loose on the floor, and it's going to be another jump ball, and this time it should be Rams' ball, I believe. Yep, Tinora will get the ball on the possession arrow with 2:10 left in the game. Brown gets the inbounds, and here come the Rams. Brown working her way through traffic, kicks it out to Helmke. Helmke from three-point land, it's good. McKenna Helmke, her second three of the night. 7 points for her overall. Seitz as the Aces go back on offense. Loses the ball, it's picked up, and it's still loose on the floor. Sigmund dives for it. Brown had her in a bit of a headlock there. One of those wrestling moves. Jump ball, and it'll be Aces on the possession arrow with 1:42 left in the contest. Again, ball inbounds to Leah Seitz. Seitz working against Carpenter. Bounce pass down to Bailey. Bailey being guarded by Brown. Back to Seitz. Leah looking things over. Bounce passes it to Perna. Perna to Sigmund. Sigmund. They look to work their offense, and it's stolen away. That's Brown. Brown, I think, is going to be called for carrying the ball. Yep. Gets the call and turns it over to the Aces. So closing in on the final minute of this junior varsity game, Leah Seitz takes it across the timeline with 1:02 left in the game. She tosses it over to McKeegan Bailey. Bailey on the wing. Bailey looking for some help, gets it to Jade Sigmund. Sigmund bounce passes it back to Leah Seitz. Seitz to Perna. And Perna almost loses the ball, gets it back. Perna gets it to Seitz with 37 seconds left in the game. Seitz over to Bailey. Her long three is no good. Helmke grabs the rebound. She tosses it over to Brown, and Brown can take her time, 24 seconds. And the clock rolling. She'll get it to Carpenter with 19. Carpenter back to Helmke. Helmke to Brown with 10 seconds. And they're just going to hold the ball, I think, and let the time expire. Helmke with 4, 2, 1, and that's all she wrote. Carpenter holds the ball, the time expires, and boy, I know the game actually went very quickly because there weren't a lot of stoppages or timeouts or anything like that, but I imagine that was a mighty, mighty long 24 minutes of basketball for the Lady Aces tonight as they get thumped. And, boy, they didn't waste any time taking it off the scoreboard either, did they? So anyway, I think it was 30, I'll have to add it up here, something to 8. So let me quickly compile the unofficial scoring totals. And we'll work from that. So 37-8 the final score. And here are the unofficial scoring tallies. For the Lady Aces, it'll be short and sweet. Their leading scorer tonight was Alyssa Seitz. Alyssa had a bucket in the first half and a bucket in the second half, and she finishes up with 4 points. And aside from that, it was a bucket and 2 for Sydney Bland and a bucket and 2 for Leah Seitz. And there's the 8 points that the Aces managed to score in the junior varsity game. On the Rams side of the coin, well, leading all scorers tonight, and the only player in double figures was Emma Lieb. Emma had 2 threes, 2 twos, and 2 free throws for 12. Also, 8 points tonight for Paige Carpenter. Paige had a couple of three-pointers and a bucket. It was 2 3-pointers and a free throw for 7 points for McKenna Helmke. After that, let's see, Sierra Brown, a bucket and a couple of free throws for 4. 2 points for Clara Westrick, 2 for Dakota Schaffner, and 2 points for Madeline Zachrich. And there you have it, 37-8. So, like I said, just a thumping from the Lady Rams for the Aces JV squad here tonight. They'll look to bounce back their next game. And we, of course, have one more game yet to go. Brian and I are sticking around for the varsity matchup. We can have musical entertainment from the upper deck here tonight, so that always makes it kind of a fun basketball atmosphere. But with that, we're going to wrap up the junior varsity coverage. One more time, final score. Well, first off, let's say a big thank you to the Hicksville Athletic Department and to the Jim Schmidt family of automotive dealerships for underwriting our coverage. And to you for tuning by. Hope you enjoyed the junior varsity basketball action here on Hicksville Community Television. One final time, the final score in the JV game, it was Tinora beating the Lady Aces 37-8. For Brian Williams, working the camera, I'm Bill Murphy with Hicksville Community Television, wishing you good night and good sports.